And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starters for your GSW Lady Hurricanes. A 5'7" sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia, number 1, Hannah Marone. A 5'3" junior from Fort Valley, Georgia, number 2, Lisbeth Cervantes. 5'1" sophomore from Sewanee, Georgia, number 5, Elisa Barr. A 5'5" sophomore from Sao Paulo, Brazil, number 10, Eduarda Justi. 5'3" junior from Marietta, Georgia, number 11, Layla Ahmed. A 5'9" senior from Susanville, California, number 12, Brenna Mendonca. A 5'4" freshman from McDonough, Georgia, number 13, Emma Carter. A 5'4" freshman from Bogota, Colombia, number 14, Geraldine Alvarez. 5'4" junior from San Vicente, Costa Rica, number 16, Laura Duran Blanco. 5'11" sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, number 17, Ashlyn Baker. And a 5'9" freshman from Decula, Georgia, number 20, Peyton Johnson. The head coach of the Lady Hurricanes in his 3rd season is Enrique Rodriguez, assistant coach Katie Roberts. one's on too? Oh, this one. Okay. And a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking live at Hurricane Field Peach Belt Conference Women's Soccer action. Thanks for joining us tonight. Peach Belt Conference opener for the visiting Lakers from Clayton State University. Hands up, free kicks away towards the back post. Far post, should I say, and the header is in. Boy, we come on the air just in time as the visiting Lakers take an early and quick lead tonight. The Clayton State's goal was scored by number 21, Pia Hall. Well, a beautiful loft towards the far post, and we just got confirmation. You probably already saw it at home. You probably had a tighter shot than we did from up here in the broadcast tower. But Pia Hogg strikes first. The sophomore from Norway puts the Lakers up on top. 1-0 here in the early going of this one. We're less than 3 minutes into the action. Okay. You're fine. Oop, my bad. Sorry, you keep doing your thing. I'm just going to hit this one time. Boom. We're back in business. Well, with so much to cover and so little time, a couple minutes into this one, you could see the visiting Lakers on top. I just started mentioning that this is the Peach Belt Conference opener for the visiting Lakers. They got washed out of their scheduled opener, and they have had 17 days to prepare for Coach Rodriguez and the Lady Hurricanes. GSW is 0-1 in Peach Belt Conference action. They started off the 2019 conference portion of their schedule with a road match this past Saturday at Albany State, a newcomer to the women's soccer conference, or I guess they could just say they're a member of the Peach Belt in women's soccer only, and this is their first season on board. And in their first conference match, they get the 2-0 win over Georgia Southwestern on their home turf back on Saturday. So Georgia Southwestern overall comes in with a record of 3-3-1. 3-3-1, again 0-1 in Peach Belt. Clayton State is 3-1 overall. They won their first three matches, and suffered a loss again in their last match, which came 17 days ago in double overtime to Queens out of North Carolina. 3-1 overall for the Lakers. It's so early in the season to take a complete look at the team comparisons, but GSW's scoring 2 goals a game, allowing 1.8. Clayton State 2.25 goals scored a game, and they a little bit tighter on the defense, 1.16 goals against average. You saw the starting 11, but in case you are just tuning in and you missed it, we'll just go down the number and last name of the starting 11 for each school. Starting with the visiting Lakers, the goalkeeper is number 0, Bona Uto. There we go.
Joining her on the pitch, number 4, Brewer, number 6, Elfgren, number 8, Zabel, number 9, Massa, number 10, Bacarizo, number 13, Loftman, number 15, Holloman, number 16, Rosaner, number 17, DeVillers, and number 21, the young lady that headed in the goal to open up the scoring tonight, Hogg, number 21. Head coach Fergal Ford, assistant coach is Ross Henderson. Starting 11 for the Lady Hurricanes tonight. Between the pipes, the sophomore number 1, Hannah Marone. Joining Marone on the pitch, number 2, Cervantes. Number 5, Barr. Number 10, Gisti. Number 11, Ahmed. Number 12, Mendonca. Number 13, Carter. Number 14, Alvarez. Number 16, Duran Blanco. Number 17, Baker. And number 20, Johnson. Rounding it out for head coach in his 3rd season, Enrique Rodriguez. The assistant coach is Katie Roberts. Clayton State feed down, got to its target, but just a little bit hard, fought the flick with the header. And if you are just tuning in, I know those that have watching have kind of could put the 2 and 2 together, but Clayton State clad in all white tonight, moving from right to left on your screen. The Lakers, again in their white kits, Georgia Southwestern, blue and collegiate gold striped tops, white shorts, pink socks across the board for the Lady Hurricanes tonight. Defending the goal again, that be on the left side of your screen. That Clayton State currently in their attacking zone here as we move into the under 35-minute mark to go in the first half. The throw in inside the 18 will cross the goal line, end line, and Marone will put it down, kick it away here. We'll take a look throughout the first half was a comparison between these two teams. We've got a little bit of information on the ladies between the pipes tonight. Your goalie comparison, as well as some top performers on each team to keep an eye on in this one. And we'll get you that information as when time kind of permits itself and we don't miss any of the exciting action taking place here in the early going. Don't forget there's a live stats link also in the description of today's broadcast. So if you are watching and would like to have the live stats open up in another window so that you can follow your favorite team or player. Again, the live stats for tonight's broadcast, there's a link right in the description of tonight's video on our YouTube channel that you're watching. The home of the Surge Sports Network, our YouTube channel directly is GSW Athletics. But just go ahead and click that white GSW logo in the bottom right corner of your screen. We're thankful for the 916 plus that have already become subscribers as we approach that 1,000 mark. And we'd love to have you on board. You can subscribe to our channel, and that way whenever we go live, you can choose to get an alert. Long ball, Lady Hurricanes will see if they can get out in front, but they have to slow up, and it gives the defense from Clayton State a chance to recover. Foul on the Lady Hurricanes, and a kick coming up for the Lakers. Yeah, just click that white GSW button, or if you have the red subscribe button on your screen as well, depending on how you're viewing our broadcast today, you can click that as well and just join, subscribe, and when we go on the air, you can receive a notification if you choose. Now, you don't have to set your calendar, you don't have to bookmark it, you don't have to tie a string around your finger. We'll let you know, and YouTube will give you that alert of when we have officially gone live. Usually just a few minutes before the start of each home broadcast, and we broadcast men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, baseball, softball, and even a couple of our home women's tennis matches coming up this spring. So check us out on YouTube at GSW Athletics. A little dark? Okay. We're going to lower this one down a little, lighten up our lower cam a little bit. We'll be right back with you as we move from dusk into darkness here at Hurricane Field. We'll change the lighting settings on our camera. We'll be back momentarily for you and let you enjoy the sounds of the match. Both coaches very vocal here in the early going. Tonight's match, a part of Blue and Gold Week here on campus, kind of like our fall, I guess you could say a fall homecoming type atmosphere, even though Georgia Southwestern does not have a American football program. But a new tradition that they'll start under our new, or not new anymore, Dr. Weaver's been here now for a couple of years and has started to infuse a lot of energy and a sense of tradition here on some things that are to the liking of the student body, definitely based on the retention rates that the campus had here coming into this school year. So Blue and Gold Week is in its first go-around. Always kind of done some stuff around a homecoming type atmosphere, but they've really gone all out this Blue and Gold Week. This is part of it. They actually are going to have a 70s roller skating, 70s themed roller skating rink set up in our intramural gym that starts at 8 o'clock tonight. It should be a lot of fun. They bring out the different lighting and flicked, but a stop by the keeper on that. A little bit of an attack from the Lady Hurricanes. So that'll be a lot of fun to head over there as that runs to midnight, 8 to 12 tonight in the intramural gym. So they'll have their 70s roller raid, or I can't remember exactly how they phrased it. They've got a Southwest Georgia Music Fest tomorrow. Our business organization Enactus is putting on this. Here's a little action from Clayton State. Time to set it up. The kick just to the left of the pipe. Lady Hurricanes dodge a bullet. A real good look there for Clayton State. And that shot just a little off. Trying to add to their lead, a good scoring opportunity, but Marone forces the kick out, perhaps a little bit wide, and thanks to her effort and approach at the net, and the kick just a little bit off, so GSW still only down a goal at this point in the match. Southwest Music Fest tomorrow, Saturday. They've got all kinds of stuff around town going on. Another attack opportunity coming up for Clayton State. They'll bring it here to our near side, trying to get around the out. Little work with Emma Carter from GSW. And Bacarizo battling here on our near side of the field. And a GSW soccer doubleheader, both teams hosting this weekend. Two different Peach Belt Conference opponents. I think it's Clayton State on the men's side, but Georgia College on the women's side, 5 and 7:30. The women play first. In between the matches, Mr. and Ms. GSW. So go to our university website if you're interested in more information or might be making the trip this weekend, gsw.edu. Here's Bacarizo again. This time, taken down, and that's going to be trouble. Bacarizo goes down hard in the box, and that will set up a penalty kick opportunity for the Lakers, a chance to extend their lead here. I believe it was Baker who committed the foul, number 17. And a prime opportunity for the Lakers to add to their advantage. And it looks like they'll let the young lady, the same lady that took the foul has a chance to complete the play now. Manoli Bacarizo, the senior from Ecuador, stepping up to take the PK with the left foot. It'll go off Marone. She stops the first one. She cannot stop the second attempt. What a great stop by Marone, but she couldn't make two. The Lady Hurricanes kind of frozen, and Coach Rodriguez is absolutely beside himself that there wasn't a charge on that. It bounced slowly back to Bacarizo, as you saw on your screen, and she just got a free chance to regroup and punch it in with Marone on the turf. So a goal for the Lakers, and now a 2-goal advantage. Clayton State goal was scored by number 10, Manoli Bacarizo. Well, 2-0 now in favor of the visiting Lakers. You're okay. You're okay. Lady Hurricanes, Emma Carter will throw it in. And Justi unable to control it. How do these two teams compare coming into play tonight? Well, there's a little look at it there as we get ready for the throw in. Stats. We get back to the action. Lady Hurricanes will be ahead in several of those categories just from the simple fact that they've played 3 more matches than Clayton State at this point. So those cumulative totals add up. One hopper to Marone. That got a little bit close. Timing is good, thankfully, on Hannah's part to pull it down. Battling just below our broadcast tower. Finding the runner on the outside. right behind the post. That lovely post that's in our way on those broad. That's all right. We don't want to see the out-of-bounds action. Weren't thinking of our cameras when they constructed this facility. There is somebody behind the post waiting to throw it in. There it is. And the Lady Hurricanes will get it over midfield and see if they can make a run, or we'll just go past the other post. So Carter will throw it in for Georgia Southwestern, looking around, seeing her targets. Well, that hit the top of our tower and made a nice clang. I don't know if you could hear that on your streaming feed. So what about those Lakers from Clayton State? Well, before we go back to our other graphic, we'll take a peek here of the story behind Clayton State coming in to action tonight. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that their last match was 17 days ago. They had a washout in between there when they would have had one scheduled this past weekend, I believe it was. Last match was played on September 15th. That's when they suffered their first loss of the season. It was a 2-1 double overtime heartbreaker against Queens. And you see Clayton State has controlled the all-time series against the Lady Hurricanes, a perfect 13-0. All but 3 of them have come by at least a 2-goal differential. Clayton State located in Morrow, Georgia, up near Atlanta, for those of you that weren't aware. Marone puts it down, and she'll come here to just dump it off to rather than do the long kick, try to catch Clayton State napping. Didn't quite work. You can hear the coaches wanting them to press quickly and get back up there and get the ball while it's still on their half and their attacking end of the field. Lady Hurricanes trying to push forward. We have a sub. We do. Lady Hurricanes substitution checking in for Georgia Southwestern is number 8, Allison Rugel. Lady Hurricanes, as you mentioned, they heard me say, just checking in for Georgia Southwestern is number 8, Allison Rugel. You saw her on the exchange as their teammate as she was swapping places on the field. The senior from Decatur, Georgia, transferred in from Georgia Military College. Allison Rugel now on the pitch for Georgia Southwestern. Foul on the Lady Hurricanes. Go back to quick peek at that before the kick goes away. Take a look at some of the stats coming in, favoring shots on goal percentage favoring the Clayton State. They've been more accurate. They've allowed only 5 goals this season, have had to make 15 saves at a clip of 75%. And GSW save percentage 62.9 as you see the stats there on your screen. Clayton State getting ready for the free kick. Hand is up for the Lakers. Moa Lofman with the kick. Lofman, a sophomore from Sweden, comes in and takes that kick. A chance now. Here's Hogg again. She's got one of the goals. She'll take a nice kick up and over the post. So how about the Lady Hurricanes coming into play tonight? Lady Hurricanes, as I mentioned earlier, last played on Saturday at Albany State, suffered a 2-0 defeat on the road. But a couple of ladies to keep an eye on for Georgia Southwestern. Allison Rugel, who had just checked into the match here. Some fresh legs off the bench. She started many of the games this season. I'm going to have them all in once Rugel for the season. She started 6 of the now 8 matches for Georgia Southwestern. Rugel is tied for second in the Peach Belt with her 4 assists. And keep an eye on Peyton Johnson, third in the PBC with 28 shots. It's a little bit of the quick bullet points on Georgia Southwestern coming into tonight's match. Geraldine Alvarez trying to do something. She was waiting for some help. Nothing but white jerseys back in defense for Clayton State. Now back on the attack. Here come the Lakers. Across the midfield stripe. Pass to Hogg, who will bring it back. Feed in by Zabel is temporarily knocked away, but the Lakers maintain possession. Down to the corner it will roll. It's staying in, and now eventually the corner kick coming up for Clayton State. As they head down there, will give us a chance to take a comparison at tonight's goalkeepers as they get ready for their kick. Setting it up. There's a look at the keeper comparison for tonight. Bona Uto, hand is up. We'll get back to the action. There's the kick. And behind the goal, we can keep that up as Marone will bring it up. Another look at the keeper comparison tonight as Marone still coming from the back of the goal to bring the ball around. Both keepers under under 2 with the goals against average, but Bonauto has looking to, with a good showing tonight, perhaps get that thing right around 1 or dip it a little bit below. She's made 15 saves. Marone 22 overall this season. Again, a little bit different, just the fact that Clayton State has played 3 less matches, so those cumulative stats still adding up as things will even out and the season goes along. Down inside. Fighting down inside the 18. Now they'll bring it just outside the top of the box. Across. It's kind of ping-ponging around in there. Now they'll get it out here. Alvarez temporarily flicks it over the stripe, but Clayton State back in possession as we approach 14. Hogg with a shot. Bounces right to Marone for the stop. Substitution coming in for Clayton State. It's going to be number 7 checking in for the Lakers. The Clayton State substitution was number 7, Jane McKevitt. So a nice ball. The header bounced into the turf and up to Marone. Another stop for the keep. Georgia Southwestern. And it's a goal for the Lady Hurricanes. They've cut the lead in half. Long kick. I couldn't quite see who took that one, I believe. Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 12, Brenna Mendonca. I know that one's not going to make the highlight reel. I think we were pretty far away on that. You're still far away on that one. Long kick. The keeper got it in, but it looks like she kind of fell backwards and must have at some point just went across the line for the goal to count. And the Lady Hurricanes to cut the lead in half. 2-1 now the score. Georgia Southwestern is back in this one. Still plenty of time as we approach 11 minutes to go until the halftime break. Kick coming up from Loftman. Hand is up. Kick is away. Drifts to the right. Marone will let it go, and a free kick coming up, or goal kick rather, coming up for Georgia Southwestern. Marone with the ball down. Foul whistled on Clayton State. Georgia Southwestern men are in action at Southern Wesleyan, and they are in overtime. All tied up at one goal apiece. Central South Carolina, the destination for Georgia Southwestern's men's team tonight. Well, despite the early 2-goal deficit, the Lady Hurricanes are just one miscue or one opportunistic moment away from tying this one up, despite the fact that the stats are heavily in favor of the visiting Lakers at this point. 13-2 is the shot differential. 6-2 if you're looking at shots on goal. 6-2 in favor, as we got a substitution. Clayton State substitution number 3, Natalie Barbara. Georgia Southwestern will also have a substitution at this time. It's number 6, Lexi Henderson. So number 6, Lexi Henderson checks in for the Lady Hurricanes, the freshman from Pike County. Coming in for GSW. Here over the final 7 minutes of the first half. Marone has had to make 5 saves so far in the match. Bonauto with 1 save. Offsides are even at 1 apiece. And the fouls, I believe, now will be even at 5 apiece as we wind down the first half. What's the matter? What happened? Oh, that's okay. It's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you can stop it. That's fine. All right, Lady Hurricanes. Rugel will take a kick. Lit the left foot. She tries to go for the goal, but pulls it to the right. No harm done. What's? Yeah, I can open it up a little bit, though. Hurricanes are going to make a substitution. Lady Hurricanes preparing for a substitution at the next opportunity. Number 22, Emily Cullum, will check in for Georgia Southwestern if the opportunity presents itself. Nice move to the inside for Clayton State. Now they'll give it back to the middle. Hogg will bring it back here to our near side. The feed inside. Collision. And they'll stop the clock and call on a trainer. Shannon Green Spinolios running on to check on the injured player for Georgia Southwestern. While the player is down, we'll let Shannon check on her, and we'll get you more information here when we can. A couple of players you want to keep your eye on in this one, although neither has scored any of the 3 goals combined by the 2 teams, but doesn't mean that they can't strike at any time. We'll take a look at your top performers coming into play here this evening. And you get a look at the young ladies right there. Janne Brewer, the senior from Denmark, leading Clayton State with her 8 points on the season. I think next closest was 4 coming in, and that was number 10, Manoli Bacarizo, and she has scored, so she'll closing the gap on her teammate. Peyton Johnson, 3 goals this season for the freshman. She's got a couple of assists, and she also matches Brewer with 8 points this fall. A yellow card has been issued to Clayton State. I believe it was number 10. And did Collum get a chance to come in? She did. So now in the match for Georgia Southwestern, number 22, Emily Collum. In the match for Georgia Southwestern is number 22, Emily Collum. Foul on the Lady Hurricanes. Yeah. Kick coming off the boot of number 16. That's Kiara Rosaner. Marone punts it away. There's the cross. Kicked away by the Lady Hurricanes. Foul on the Lady Hurricanes. Under 2 minutes to go. Good ball, good ball. Marone has to bat it down. Now it's falling around. Woo, to the turf. Marone did a good job to get a mid on it. And that was a good ball into the towards goal from Clayton State. Marone able to whack it out of harm's way. One minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute. This wild ball not quite as deep as it needed to be. Lady Hurricanes wait for it to come down. They're still trying to get the ball out of there. And just keep this thing at a 1-goal deficit. Corner kick coming up. Corner kick coming up for Clayton State. They'll have to move. They'll try to set up as we tick down the final few seconds of our opening half. Ball is down, quickly put down. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And I'm watching the scoreboard, so I didn't get to see it. You saw it. Clayton State making the most of the final seconds, 2 on the clock, and that's just what we needed to avoid. That second goal, a 3-1 advantage now for Clayton State. And that one hurts heading into the break. GSW doing such a good job to get this thing back to a manageable 1-goal deficit, in Clayton State pounds one into the net. Just felt the pressure coming that last minute and a half or so. It's been just a constant push by the Lakers, and now they capitalize and get the goal they needed. 3-1 the score. Two, 1-0. That'll do it for the first half of action. The late goal for Clayton State makes it a 3-1 advantage for the visiting Lakers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will step aside. We'll introduce you to a few of our corporate partners. We're thankful for their contributions to Georgia Southwestern State University athletics, partnering with us. Community partners, and again, we'll introduce you to them here at the break. We'll come back. We'll mute the music so that YouTube doesn't get mad at us and throw all kinds of copyright fun stuff at us. But a big thanks again to Zaxby's, to Phoebe Sumter and the whole Phoebe medical community, as well as Citizens Bank and Magnolia Manor, who you won't see there as well, and Synovus, the bank here, another one of our bank supporters here in Americus. Thank you to all of their contributions. Magnolia Manor Senior Living, another partner of Georgia Southwestern. Enjoy the break. Take a load off. You got 14 and a half minutes before the second half of action. We'll be back. You are watching Georgia Southwestern State University Soccer Peach Belt Conference action here on the Surge Sports Network.
Zaxby's, there's nothing better than hand-breaded chicken, unless it's hand-breaded chicken with sauce. From sweet to savory, mild to wild, even that world-famous Zax sauce. Whatever you're craving, we've got the sauce at Zaxby's.
Here is where we're from. Here made us who we are. Here is where we learn relationships are worth more than dollars can measure. It's a value that grows over time, strengthens under pressure, and thrives when serving others. We're Synovus, and we're here for our community. Because we live here too. Synovus, the bank of here.
At Zaxby's, chicken and delicious go hand in hand. As in hand-breaded, hand-seasoned, and handmade to order. There's only one place you can get chicken like that. Zaxby's.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half action underway here from Hurricane Field. Peach Belt Conference women's soccer action. The visiting Lakers from Clayton State University and the Georgia Southwestern State University Lady Hurricanes. Well, that was a crushing blow to the comeback hopes. Still out of the realm of a comeback victory or tie, at least for the Lady Hurricanes. But if you're just tuning in, Clayton State scores with just a few seconds left. The clock officially stopped with 2 seconds left in the first half to put the Lakers up 3-1. So Lady Hurricanes were hanging on and holding on for dear life, trying to take a 2-1 deficit into the break and see what could happen and roll the dice in the second half. But that late goal has now put them in a pretty tough hole. 3-1, as you can see on your screen, the lead now for the visiting Lakers. But we'll see what kind of adjustments were made by both coaches here at the start of the second half, and things play on. Clayton State, again, this is their Peach Belt Conference opener. Lady Hurricanes are 0-1 in the PBC. We mentioned a couple of players to keep an eye on in our team comparison graphic earlier, or offensive leader category. Lady Hurricanes top performer coming into play today is Peyton Johnson. There's a look at her stat line coming in. The freshman has rattled off 28 shots, 17 of which have gone on goal, as that pipe ruins our autofocus. 3 goals, 2 assists for Johnson, and you see she'll be over 500 minutes of playing time here in her freshman campaign. Another person to keep an eye on, the senior Allison Rugel. There's her stat line coming into tonight's match, as the coaches are back and forth about who should really have possession. The clock stopped. Okay. See the little stats on Rugel. There's her line coming in. Again, she's subbed in about mid to later part of the first half. She's got 6 goals. Oh, yeah. I'll get it back. We'll get it back online. 2 goals, 4 assists for Rugel. Another young lady that's had a pretty good fall so far, Geraldine Alvarez. There's her stat line coming in. There was Rugel with the touch. Now the ball in. Foul issued on the Lady Hurricanes. Alvarez, I've called her name out a time or two, the freshman. She has a goal, and she's picked up a couple of assists recently. She's been the assist machine, 3 on the year so far for Alvarez. Another lady that's seen a lot of playing time. There's Justi. She's got 3 goals as well. Keep an eye out for number 10. Defensively, one of the tops on the team, Laura Duran Blanco, 500-plus minutes coming into play tonight, and she's even got a couple of goals to go with it there for the Lady Hurricanes. So those are just a few of the Lady Hurricanes that have seen a lot of playing time and have been able to produce across the board offensively as well as their defensive effort. Let's take a look at where I've got the clock at here. Yeah, close enough. Get back to the action there. Lady Hurricanes, as I keep flipping through those stats before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players have scored a goal this season for Georgia Southwestern, coming from all angles. And now I believe that's going to be number 9 because Mendonca has the goal in this one for GSW. So 9 Lady Hurricanes have scored, and a diverse offensive attack for the Lady Hurricanes.
Keep your hands down, Lexi! Come on! Hey, Sam! At least I want you short? Yeah. Right there, David. Back the ball, David. Watch behind you.
Where did my program go? Manoli Bacarizo, I mentioned, second on the team. Brewer is the leading scorer, as we've seen her stats earlier. 4 goals, 8 points overall. Bacarizo, 2 goals coming into play today, 4 points. Hogg had 1 goal. That'll go up to 2 for the season. She's got an assist. Zabel has a goal. Loftman had 2 assists coming into play today, and Holloman with 3 assists to lead the Lakers offensively. Shot, oh, what a stop. This one will get up and out of play over. Good save by Bonauto. And a prime opportunity for the freshman to try to add to her goal tally and make this a 1-goal difference again, but to no avail. 36 minutes approaching left in regulation. Man, what happened? Here we go. Clayton State opened up their season with a 4-1 win over Auburn Montgomery. GSW played the Warhawks in preseason and suffered a loss, but here in Americus. But again, that was a preseason matchup. 2-1 winners over Valdosta at Valdosta State. That's a good win right there for Clayton State in their second match of the year. And then they were at Christian Brothers back on the 13th of September, and they picked up a 2-1 win there as well. Substitution coming in for Clayton State at this time. Clayton State substitution checking back into the match is number 9, Isabel Massa. So Massa comes back into the match for Clayton State. Again, the last match for Clayton State before making this trip to Americus 17 days ago. A 2-1 loss to Queens. What you got? Okay. 12 teams in the Peach Belt Conference now with the addition of Albany State. Ball bouncing around, shot blocked by the Lady Hurricanes. Back out top now. Lady Hurricanes making a substitution at the next opportunity. Alvarez will check back in for Coach Rodriguez when the opportunity presents itself. In fact, the Lady Hurricanes only have one more non-conference match peppered in because they got to get through this conference schedule. It's a home match on October 16th against Emmanuel College. 6 p.m. contest. Otherwise, it's nothing but PBC action from here on out for the Lady Hurricanes. North Georgia sits atop the PBC with a 2-0 mark in conference play. They're 5-1 overall. Early in this conference portion of the schedule and season. Flagler's 1-0, UNC Pembroke's 1-0, Albany State, again, got the win over GSW. Lander and Georgia College tied. And then teams that have yet to get a win, Francis Marion 0-1, GSW 0-1, Young Harris 0-1, and Columbus State 0-2. Clayton State and USC Aiken, they were washed out. Those are the teams that have yet to play a PBC match. Overall, there's only one undefeated team remaining in the conference, and that would be Flagler. They're 6-0. Sitting at 5-1 is North Georgia and UNC Pembroke. Clayton State, a one-loss team, having only played 4 matches. Only team that has yet to get a win overall, it would be USC Aiken. They're 0-5. Looks like GSW will get their sub now. Georgia's Southwestern substitution checking back into the match for the Lady Hurricanes is number 14, Geraldine Alvarez. Lady Canes home today, of course, and then home on Saturday, 5 o'clock against Georgia College. The Bobcats come to town. Road matches at North Georgia and Francis Marion before a 3-game homestand, the 16th, 19th, and 23rd of October. Emmanuel, Young Harris, and Flagler, the opponents during that 3-match stint here at Hurricane Field. You can get your full schedule at gswcanes.com, our website, gswcanes.com. All your information and stats, season-long career stats, you name it, we've got it. Get the schedule for the Lady Hurricanes and more. The website, gswcanes.com. Throw-in coming for Clayton State as the initial clearance came from Lexi Henderson. And then it was tapped out by a teammate. You can get the number on that one. Lady Hurricanes looking to make another sub at the next opportunity. Cervantes will check back in for Georgia Southwestern. Lady Hurricanes now with that, as that one patiently they wait and let it roll out. 2 subs coming in. Couple of substitutions for Georgia Southwestern. Checking back into the match is number 2, Elizabeth Cervantes, and number 13, Emma Carter. And Henderson kicks it away and allows the defense to drop back, and now a throw in coming up for Clayton State. Very diverse and international flavor or flair to the Clayton State roster if you look up and down. First of all, when there's 3 seniors on the roster for Coach Ford. Venezuela, England, Germany, Australia, Denmark, Sweden, Ireland, Germany, Venezuela, Ecuador, Spain, Colombia, Sweden, Marietta, Georgia, Germany, France, Colorado, Norway, and Conyers, Georgia, rounding out the Clayton State roster. Way down in the corner. That'll be Alvarez taking the kick. Off in the darkness, and she brings it back. Punched away. The kick up into the air, bouncing around. There's the header to the middle, and Gustafson can't get there to put it away. Michelle Gustafson, the senior, number 4 in the middle there for Georgia Southwestern. Ball to the middle, headed back up towards the top. The kick pulled left, and Marone will have to go get a little help from our side. Ball ladies, members of the GSW women's cross country team, as well as the men's golf team, helping assist us tonight. And set up, tear down, as well as working those balls into play for us. Our ball men and women tonight. Get it out of there. Marone's down. Now they'll have to get it back, and here's a chance for the Lady Hurricanes to hopefully clear. Marone hits the turf. This one will bounce to the right of the post. No save on that one. But Marone keeps it in play so she can punt it away, if she so chooses to not throw it, and she will give it a boot. It's going to come up short of the midfield stripe and then bounce over. Ball out. Lady Hurricanes with a throw in under our media tower. Checking back in for the Lady Hurricanes, number 5, Alicia Barr. Plenty of ways you can follow the Hurricanes on social media. Who doesn't like a little Facebook? Well, there may be a few out there, but you can follow us on Facebook. GSW Hurricanes is our fan page. Check us out on Facebook.com/GSW Hurricanes. That's the way you can catch up with us if you are a Facebook user. But if you are not one of those Facebookers, I don't know, is that a word? Facebook. But if you don't like to use Facebook or you don't have an account, but perhaps you have other social media outlets that you like to follow, we'll give you our GSW accounts for those as well as we make our way throughout the second half here. Lots of ways to connect with Georgia Southwestern. The women's soccer team has an Instagram account, so you can check them out if you're wanting to follow them on Instagram. They do a quick search for GSW Women's Soccer. Lady Hurricanes also have a Twitter account. I believe it's GSW_WSOC. But you can do a quick search for Georgia Southwest or GSW Women's Soccer, and that'll pop right up too. So you can follow Lady Hurricanes directly on their accounts, or just as a whole. Our athletics department, which I mentioned there, was the Facebook, was one of our platforms on GSW Hurricanes. 22 minutes to go. Lady Hurricanes with the throw in on the far side of the field. Post-game show coming up. Talk to Tina. Christina Wells will interview Coach Rodriguez and a member of our Lady Hurricane roster. To be determined in our post-game show coming up. Good job to keep it still in play, but it will find the foot of a Lady Hurricane. Foul whistled on McKevitt for Clayton State. Kick coming up, and it looks like it'll be Rugel taking the shot. Or at least feeding it in there. She's a good bit away from this, although the Lady Hurricanes' one goal in the match came from a mile out, so you never know. Left-footed kick, curling. And they'll get the Lady Hurricanes for being, I believe, offsides on that one. Lady Hurricanes waiting to check in at, well, a Lady Hurricane, Peyton Johnson, waiting to get back in, as well as number 11 for the Lakers. That's Beatriz Zabaleji. First time we'll get to see her this evening. We mentioned GSW Hurricanes is the way you can catch up with us on Facebook. You know what's real easy to remember? GSW Hurricanes. So we did that for Instagram as well. If you got an Instagram account, we'd love to have you following us along. Good stuff on our stories, alerts, home today kind of messages, all kinds of fun on our story, as well as on our page and our wall, GSW Hurricanes on Instagram. This looks like it'll get that sub we've been waiting for. Yep, both teams will take this opportunity to sub in. Substitutions for both schools. Checking in for Clayton State is number 11, Beatriz Zabaleji. And for Georgia Southwestern, it'll be number 20, Peyton Johnson. Well, they'll call on Lexi Henderson to do the throw-in, and then it ends up getting past her teammate, and a goal kick coming up. Don't forget, fans, you are watching live here on the Surge Sports Network, the home. Our YouTube channel, GSW Athletics, the home of the Surge Sports Network. We're happy to bring you all of our broadcasts throughout the year at our home events, whether it's men's or women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, baseball, softball, even some GSW women's tennis. We've got you covered here on the Surge Sports Network. Check substitution now for 15? Okay. For Clayton State. Clayton State substitution checking back into the match for the Lakers is number 15, Taya Holloman. So Holloman, a starter, is now back in the match. The freshman from Marietta, Georgia, Pope High School. Alvarez to Johnson. The keeper is up. She'll punt it away up towards our media tower. And right. Did you get your finger in there? Oop, oop. No, you're okay. That one landed. Oh. Man, that one landed. It hit off of our. Uh-oh. We got to see the trainer? Are you sure? We can go down there? Okay. That one went off of our. We've got a large TV monitor, and then just to the left, we've got this traveling black box. It's kind of a. I don't know. It's probably 2 by 2 feet. 2 feet by 2 feet. And that thing clanged off the box. Thank God that, gosh, that thing is like a little portable tank, because the ball really didn't do anything or shake the screen or the monitor. Well, I mean, a little bit on your screen, but for the most part, you wouldn't even have known a ball just came up and hit it flush. Never good with the electronics to take a jolt, but that one came through. Clayton State with the ball back. Unfortunately, just a little out in front of the target. I think she was slow to get there. Not a bad ball at all from Clayton State on that exchange. Our producer, Kate, has gone down with a thumb injury trying to protect our box. He reached out. Would it pinch the ball in the top of that thing? Which has a kind of a little metal sharpness to it, so it probably got pinched in there, I'm assuming. Jammed, yeah. Well, hard to believe. I think this tower, Lady Hurricanes. I feel like this tower has been here at least 5 years. We didn't always have a tower. And for the longest time, we were setting speakers up on a deer stand. I want to say this tower is about 5 years old. And it's hard to believe, but in 5 years, there's never been a ball that's cleared our supportive railing around. We got a railing that kind of goes around. It's about chest high or a little lower than chest high, I guess, depending on how tall you are. I think we've had the ball hit the railing, but we've never had one clear the railing and find its way up into the open space of our tower where all of our equipment is. So first time for everything. And we've had a man lose a thumb because of it. Substitution for Clayton State. It looks like, yep, they'll get it. Clayton State substitution number 10, Manoli Bacarizo, back in the match. 11 minutes to go. Clayton State content just to pick their spots and let this time wind down. So they look to open up their Peach Belt Conference portion of their schedule with a W here on the road tonight. Taking a look what else is going on in the PBC this evening. Earlier this afternoon, it was Flagler and Columbus State. That's a good showdown of some recent powers to be in the Peach Belt. Flagler at Columbus State was a 1 o'clock start. And then on the evening slate, North Georgia at Georgia College. Albany State at Young Harris was a 7 o'clock start. UNC Pembroke at USC Aiken, 7 p.m. start. And also at 7 o'clock, Lander at Francis Marion. Running down your PBC schedule tonight. Georgia Southwestern sub at the next opportunity will be Miss Duda, as her teammates affectionately call her, Eduarda Gisti. The sophomore about to check back in for Coach Rodriguez and give a final 10 minutes of, well, it'll be under that as we're at about 9.5. Foul whistled. They'll stop the clock as a 9:28 on the scoreboard. Checking on the injured player. You can zoom in on them a little bit. A little wobbly walking there. Leaning on the trainer is Johnson. We hope she'll be all right coming off the field. It's a little woozy. It is a muggy evening here in Americus. You're sweating just standing here. Current temperatures here as we approach almost 9 o'clock at night, and the weather is sitting at 85 degrees, clear skies. And a yellow card. Yellow card was issued to Peyton Johnson on the play in the collision. 56% humidity. There is no wind. Says it feels like it's 89, but again, the temperature currently sitting at 85 on a muggy evening here in Americus. Back play resume. Clock starts, and we'll tick down the final 9:20 plus of this one. There's Justi, but she's on the far side. Got to wait for some help. Cervantes. Deflection to Rugel. She'll bring it here underneath us to Henderson, and Clayton State does a good job to put it back on their attacking end. They'll just send it back to Marone. Coates was unable to keep that shot from Marone in front of her, and ends up leading to uncontested throw-in on the far side. Lady Hurricanes will sub in Brenna Mendonca if and when the next opportunity presents itself. Under 8 minutes to go in the match. And we'll also get Marina Agugliaro. Agugliaro is a freshman from Spring Hill, Florida. And Mendonca was a starter in tonight's match for Coach Rodriguez. Corner kick up and away. Marone comes out to meet the ball. Okay. Aha. Subs for the Lady Hurricanes. Number 12 or 15, I mentioned, Agugliaro. Number 22, Emily Collum. And you already saw Mendonca a starter for Coach Rodriguez tonight. Checking in for the Lady Hurricanes, number 12, Brenna Mendonca. Number 15, Marina Agugliaro. And number 22, Emily Collum. So Loftman brings it in, and
Talk to her, Emily. Talk to her. Yes, Emily. Go ahead, Marina. Rita, Dula. Read it. Rita, Dula. Rita, Dula. Go ahead. Come on, Blue. Talk to Emily. She's on. She's on. Play. Hey, when we stand there, all three of you need to stand. Don't say come to Laura. Stand. All right, close it down. No service. No service, Dula. No service. Marina, got in a little bit. Help me over there. Yep. It's full. Yep, yeah, Emily, yeah. Good job. Next ball, Blue. Go ahead, Blue. Go ahead. Okay, again, Blue.
Fans, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter. Now, Twitter and YouTube a little bit different. We've been pumping you with GSW Hurricanes, but GSW Athletics. Uh-oh, we're losing a little focus there. There we go. Now we're back. GSW Athletics on Twitter. And that's also the YouTube channel you're watching right now, the home of the Surge Sports Network. Follow us on Twitter as well, GSW Athletics. Clock will stop with 2.5 minutes to go as the team in front makes the substitution, and that'll be Clayton State, number 18, coming in. Checking in for Clayton State is number 18, Taylor Pollock. Pollock from Thornton, Colorado. The freshman checks in for the last 2.5. Kick away from Clayton State. Popped out of harm's way. Lady Hurricanes will try to make another push if they can, but we're hitting that 1 minute mark here momentarily. Again, we'll go off the air for just a few minutes at the conclusion of tonight's match and come back up for our talks with Tina and Christina Wells, our guests at the post-match show. 1 minute remaining in the match. 1 minute. So with the win, the visiting Lakers will improve their mark to 4-1 overall. 4-1 overall and 1-0 in the Peach Belt Conference. Georgia Southwestern suffers its second consecutive loss. After rattling off a pair of wins, the Lady Canes have now lost 2 in a row. 3-4-1. 3-4-1, the overall record for GSW, and 0-2 in Peach Belt Conference play. Final seconds to be counted down. 10 seconds remaining. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Well, fans, that'll do it for tonight's action. We're going to address the folks here in attendance. We thank you for tuning in to this broadcast of Georgia Southwestern State University women's soccer. Peach Belt Conference matchup against the Lakers from Clayton State University. Final score 3-1 in favor of the visiting Lakers. Be sure to come back and watch our post-match show here in just a few moments. Lady Hurricanes will entertain Georgia College this Saturday. Our next broadcast at 5 p.m. will go on the air a few minutes before kickoff. Thanks for tuning in. You have been watching GSW Women's Soccer. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in here on the Surge Sports Network.